Hey guys, and welcome to the second part of our Armor of God video series. Remember, we are all in a battle, a spiritual battle, and that's one that we can't see with our eyes, but we know is real. But when we believe in Jesus, we are on the winning team, and it's our job now to fight back as part of God's army and to stay armed up. So today we are going to reveal the second piece of our armor, which is just as important as last week, and it is not the sword yet. I promise it is coming, but it is, are you guys ready? The breastplate of righteousness. So I got this pretty awesome Captain America suit right here, as you could see, and the breastplate of righteousness is this whole middle part right here that is hard, that is strong, and that protects our heart. Okay, Ephesians 6:14 says to stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist and the breastplate of righteousness in place. Now remember, Satan is always going to try to get us to sin. Okay, but since we love Jesus, we don't want to sin. We want to live righteous lives. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering, what in the world does righteous mean, or righteousness? Now, righteousness is just a big, fancy word for being right with God. We are righteous when we choose to follow God and not to let sin get into our heart. Okay, but there was only one person to ever live that was able to be righteous and perfect on their own, and that was Jesus. Because Jesus is perfect, but we are not perfect. Okay, but the coolest thing ever, guys, is that Jesus actually gives us his righteousness. If we believe in them, we only become right with God through Jesus. And because of Jesus, because of what he did for us on the cross. I want you guys to imagine this for a second, okay? It's kind of like this. Imagine that you spill paint all over the carpet and the couch in your living room. And your mom walks in, sees what you did, and she flips out. Okay, she screams at you, and you get punished for like a month. Now imagine that your brother or your sister walks in, sees what happened, and goes up to your mom and says that he would be punished for you, that he would take your place so that you don't have to be punished. Like, what? That would be so awesome. Now what Jesus did for us on the cross is kind of like this, except so much bigger and so much better, because guys, Jesus actually laid down his life for us. He died for us so that we can be forgiven of our sin and set free from sin and be made right with God. Now 2 Corinthians 5:21 says that God made him sin who knew no sin, so that we might become the righteousness of God. Now remember, the breastplate of righteousness, it protects our heart, right? And some of you might be wondering, why our heart? Like, what's so special about our heart? Now, Proverbs 24:3 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Now, I think that our heart is kind of like a sponge, okay? Now, a sponge, whatever you soak into it, is what comes out, okay? So I actually have a sponge here, and I also have this big glass of water, and I also have a big glass of soda, okay? Now remember, whatever you soak up into a sponge is what's gonna come out. So I'm soaking up some water, and I'm squeezing it out. What's gonna come out is water, exactly, and the same exact thing with the soda. I'm gonna soak up some soda, and when I squeeze it, soda comes out. Now guys, it is just like this with our heart. Whatever we soak up into our heart, whatever we put into our heart, is what is going to be squeezed out. And remember, we're in a battle. So Satan, he's always going to try to get us to soak up sin or to soak up bad things. Maybe he's going to try to get us to watch things on TV that we know are filled with things that we shouldn't be watching. Or maybe he's going to try to get us to listen to music that we know is just filled with messages that are against the Bible. Or maybe he's going to try to get us to hang out with people that we know are going to lead us in the wrong direction. He's always going to try to get us to soak up bad things. And guys, when we do that, when we soak up sin and we fill our life with things that are not of God, when we get squeezed, that is what is going to come out. And the opposite is true too. If we have our breastplate of righteousness on, we're going to soak up the good things of Jesus, his truth, his love, his joy, his peace. And that is what is going to be squeezed out of us. That's what's going to come out of our lives, guys. So it's so important that in this battle that we're in every day, that we wake up every morning and put on the breastplate of righteousness, knowing that we have been made right with God because of Jesus, and that we run from sin. We don't let ourselves soak up sin and bad things, but we run to Jesus instead and allow ourselves to be filled with his truth, his goodness, his love, because that is what is then going to come out of us, guys. So this week, remember, every day, put on that breastplate of righteousness and stay strong. Let Jesus be your righteousness. See you guys next week.